Please imagine that music getting louder, transitioning into intro music. The music swells, the original song dies down. It comes to a crescendo, and then your host, Joey T. Badger, gets put on screen. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Blaseball Sunday. It's me, your host, Joey T. Badger, your voice for live Blaseball, here to host this talk show about what the heck happened in season number 15. Folks, thank you so much for being here. Let's have some chat time. Wow, really nailing it. Everyone say hi in the chat. That's what I want to say. Hello, Ambrose. Yeah. Happy time zone, the breath mints. My goodness. Imagine that music fading away slowly. And now we are audio. Great. Folks, a lot of crazy stuff happened in season 15, and we're here to talk about it. We have a panel of 4 guests. First off, congratulations, Moist Talkers, for winning their second championship in a row. Do I hear Dynasty? Some people are already saying it. Folks, the way this show is going to go, we're going to talk about all the cool stuff that's happening, but please feel free at any time to ask questions in the chat, because we want to be able to welcome everyone into the community of Blaseball. So this show is for new folks and old folks. I've been around since season 4, and I still don't know what's going on. So please ask questions. We will do our best to answer them and get to them throughout the show. And with that, we have 3 wonderful guests. She is not a stranger to the booth. She is an actor on Little League. She plays Morgan Woodstock. She is canonically my cousin. It's Marissa T. Badger. Hello, Marissa.
Hi. How's it going?
I'm doing great, chat. Make sure you say hello, Marissa. Oh, Marissa, welcome back to the booth. I'm so happy to have you again here. We had you at least for 2 casts this season. I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be traumatized and confused.
That is Blaseball, baby. That is our resting state. So we're here to talk about it. And Marissa, I mentioned earlier in the chat that if they have any questions, answer them. I know that you're not as plugged in as the experts or the people from Sibber or the people who are the editor-in-chief of Blaseball News Network.
Why are you double quoting all of that?
Because it's funny that way. It's a good bit.
That is true. I am not plugged in as much as everyone else, but I'm ready to ask questions.
Great, and we're here to answer them. Hello, Badgers. Oh, that's the first time I think I've seen that. Thank you, P. Fired. What an election. Yeah, we'll get to that. Next, our first time on the program, and the first time I get to see them in real life. They are the Ifrit at Society for Internet Blaseball Research. They are always in the chats providing resources and stats, whether we want to or not, and we're always grateful. It's Ifbiff. Hello, Ifbiff.
Oh, sorry. Hello,
you got some reading there. Ifbiff, welcome to the program.
Yes, super excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
Now, chat, make sure you say hello, Ifbiff. Ifbiff, what is your background and your involvement here in Blaseball?
Like yourself, I've been here since season 4.
Oh, wow.
I quickly got embroiled into the Society for Institute of Baseball Research.
Mm-hmm.
They put me in a 3D bottle, stuck me in the database, and let me out on occasion to go get some information. So hopefully I can give some answers in terms of actual math and stats and history and some interesting fun stuff that happens.
Wow, math stats, you really know your arcane words well. I don't understand any of those. So Ifbiff, thank you so much for being here. Can't wait to chat some stats with you. And again, always bottom of our hearts here at the Sport Sub, thank you for providing such great delight in the chat while we do our broadcasts. It means a lot.
I love the Sport Sub and everything you do, Joey. You know that. So,
shucks, you stuck up.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, we have...
Yes, I can.
One more panelist who is obligated to be here because he is in charge of the Blaseball News Network. He's the editor-in-chief. He is a proud Moist Talker fan because I see him playing with the shirt right now. It's none other than Callahan Jones. Everyone say hi, Cal. Cal, nice shirt.
Hey, thanks. I bought it from this Blaseball Cares website you may have heard of. Just to clear the air, Joey, I am not actually a Moist Talkers fan. I just have been rapidly buying Blaseball Cares shirts for every team so I can wear them when they win a championship. It's a bit.
It's a good bit.
more of an Ohio Worms guy myself, but
You can still be a fan of multiple teams. I love all teams here in the internet.
for sure.
Blaseball
The Moist
League.
Talkers, good crew. Congrats, Moist Talkers, on your recent back-to-back finals win.
Back to back. Would you call it a dynasty? That's our first question here. Marissa, T, Badger, If Biff, and Cal. Would you say that the season 15 champions, season 14 champions, Canada Moist Talkers are going to be a dynasty? That's what I want to know.
Really quickly, what does it mean by being a dynasty?
That's a great question. It's one of those non-L sports things where a team, I think there might be an actual definition or at least agreed upon, like 3 wins, 3 titles in 3 or 4 years.
Basically, your team is the team for an undetermined amount of time.
Mm.
So, again, to go to the real life sports with no L, the New York Yankees won 4 out of 5 World Series from 96 to 2000.
It was a dynasty, and the Patriots of the New England football variety had a couple dynasties in the early aughts. And
Yes.
I don't know. I'm
that team, okay?
I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm the host, so not to you all. You should boo me. Yeah, please boo me. Yeah, just boo. Oh, yeah, bring it on. You hate us because you hate us. I don't care. Oh, boy. We had an awful season this season. Anyways, folks, we're here to talk about Blaseball, which had a great season and also a terrifying season. And the first thing we should really look at are the results for season 15, because, boy, I don't understand what's happening or what happened. We also, before we get into that, we get introduced to a new god, I think. That happened, right?
It looked at that the Lucrates have made their first appearance, I should say, on the site itself. Whether or not that pile of boxes that just appeared a few minutes ago actually represents Lucrates, to be determined.
Yes, Lucrates, the official historian of Internet League Blaseball, has finally made seemingly their first public appearance ever since their Twitter account was found almost immediately after its creation back in November. Of course, there is still not a single tweet on this account as of now. But
did they delete them, or do they even have any?
No, they've never tweeted.
Yeah, the account has never tweeted. However, it is verified, and it only follows the microphone and Parker. So,
how do you get that verified? Marissa, you had a question?
I'm so amused. I realized that Lucrates is Luke.
Yes, it is.
That comic point is awarded to the game band for a delightful reference and playing with that.
Right. When the name first came up, it was first referenced by a Parker tweet saying that he would ask Loot Crates for some information, and it was quickly investigated and discovered by the community. On his bio on Twitter, it puts the emphasis on the syllables to indicate that it's Lucrates.
Lucrates, Low-Ocrates, correct. Is also I've heard. So there's multiple interpretations here. And in Blaseball,
come on.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure what that exactly means. Blaseball WSHU, thank you for rating us. I appreciate that. Always love our friends over in Charleston Street Shoe Thieves. Thank you for being here. Honk. Cal, why did you honk?
Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
Great. All right. We've honked. And our first big result of the election is the decree. We had a choice between bats, hats,
shoes and gloves.
Shoes and gloves. Thank you, Biff. What did you all choose, by the way? I would love to know if you all voted.
I chose bat.
Yeah.
I voted for none of them.
I personally put a small amount into shoes.
Oh, nice. Thank you for that. I put it in title belt. Which is the correct joke there, but bats, as Marissa T. Badger voted for, got chosen. Gears, turn, elements, tabled fabrication. You should probably see the screen that I'm looking at. Crafting, legends, love eternal, batter boxes open. So that box is probably relating to Luocrates being one of the crates, and now we suddenly have an inventory system here in Blaseball. Isn't that nifty?
Yes, you see the new color of nice teal blue there for the stars. That reflects on the players' cards as well, where it will show the benefit that they're gaining from an item. And
Mm.
we have a nice, pretty new system to see our items as well.
Yeah. Boy, this is not the best to show on air, but everyone apparently got a bat. Not everyone got a regular bat. Some people got a chunky bat, making the players chunky. So we get to see that items can now give modifications. There was one that was a cool bat, I think. That was probably the best bat because it says cool. Ignis Cruz gets that, who is, I think, canonically a fire monster or a fire person.
A weird.
What's that?
I was gonna say, I thought there was a concrete one, possibly.
A concrete one?
There is a concrete bat.
There's a rock bat and a weird bat as well.
Oh wow. Okay, concrete bat 6.6 stars. Wow.
Oh.
Weird bat. I just got overwhelmed because there were so many.
There were so many bats. Yeah, on like my third reread through the election, I noticed that there were actually different bats because when I first looked at the bat, I looked at the first like 15 and they all just said bat, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna scroll past this entire thing. But
one of the numbers I usually put out on a Sunday afternoon is how many players had some semblance of change to them, and I can't do that this season because that's 100% of the players.
Apparently, not everyone has a bat. It says House I and I. That's interesting. Do we know any players that don't have a bat?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of either.
So
I think if Biff would be the person to know on that one, and if Biff says everyone has a bat, so I don't know.
If Biff says he didn't get to go that far into it,
fair enough.
It's locked in. Just stick with it. Have a hot take. Apologize later. Hot takes now. Apologies later. Yes, Marissa?
Jalen Hot Dog Fingers apparently doesn't have one.
What?
That's what the chat is saying. That's what Supreme Lord Ender says.
Oh,
that would be because
shadows when the decree happened.
Yep.
So events on the site happen in the order that you read them. That's one of the things we know about the elections. Therefore, with the decrees happen first, they probably happen to all active players. And then anybody who came out of the shadows this season for various reasons, including Jalen, I guess, did not.
Huh. That is interesting. And this is another look at the new items. Before it was locked, but now it's unlocked. There's an empty slot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, like the bases we enjoy here in Blaseball. But let's take a look at someone who actually has a bat. Let's pop over to, I don't know. Let's say to Boston Flowers. Let's look at Margarito Nava and take a look. Actually, it was Glade Moon's birthday yesterday. We'll look at Glade Moon's.
Happy birthday, Glade Moon.
How dare you? Now we have a bat. Oh, I apparently you can click on it. It's a type bat. Nice. I assume the hats, the mitts, and the other one, shoes, are probably one of those. That's fun.
Also, if it's like weird or hot or something like that, it'll appear in the elements.
Oh, okay. Who had like the cool bat? That was Dela Cruz. That's for the Hellmouth Sunbeams. This is fun. We're on air figuring this out. Oh, this has 2 dots. Durability, that's a new stat, probably seasons.
And as it was actually pointed out in chat by a few different people, any of the evolved players, such as many of the expansion team members, they all have 2 item slots unlocked rather than just 1.
What?
Oh, whoa! Thanks, chat. Whoa, that's see. It also goes back, back and forth. We teach you things, you teach us things. It's about being a learning experience. So this whole base 1 evolution has some far-reaching things, including having more slots to have items.
I have a
right, and I see.
Mr. T. Patrick, you had a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Marissa, please.
Oh, I just was curious. I didn't quite understand evolution, what that meant.
Evolution was a decree that was passed a couple of seasons ago, I believe.
Okay.
13, I believe.
That indicates that when a team reaches their 3rd championship, the team will evolve. That means that the team gets its own new team modification.
Got it.
And that the individual players there also evolve, and you get those gold stars there, which means that they cannot go below that number of stars, say for, I don't know, 145 shark attacks that might happen.
Oh, that's good foreshadowing. We'll definitely be talking about all the consumer attacks later on this cast.
And I also wanted to credit, while we're on here, though, the Lupine One commented that the stats of those bats indicates durability. So bats may get broken. Any item may, just like players eventually can get run out of something, it's possible that the bat can as well.
And non-L baseball, players break bats all the time. So that'd be a cool, interesting element. See what that happens during a game. Game ban? What a cool new system. Thanks for introducing this, and I imagine it's going to give us fodder for cool new and probably horrible things for the next couple months. So thank you for the excitement, and thanks for the trauma.
Amazing Akita. I'll get to the exact numbers. Yeah.
Nagomi was destabilized. We'll get there in a moment. But thank you for asking that question about base evolutions. It'd be interesting. We don't know what happens when they hit base 4. Apparently, they go home, whatever that means.
Well, that's not ominous at all, Joey.
Oh, it's very ominous. It's so ominous. Anyways, all right, let's go through all the bat. Okay, bat. Oh, okay. Wills, cool things about any cool things that stood out to you all about Wills. Any of the, of course, the Wills are the team-specific coordination to change your team. Every team gets 2 Wills unless you finish the bottom of your division. You get 3.
Well, right on your screen was one of the first interesting things that happened. The Crabs managed to re-roll Flinch for Kennedy Loser, and he's now the second haunted player in Blaseball.
Oh, that's fun. That's much better.
Hall of Fame.
I'm not sure if it's much better, but it's funny.
It's a lot more interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely. And anytime we get to see more visits from our beloved incinerated players is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. Oh, Moist Talkers targeted York Silk for a plunder, trading Fish Summer. A great stat if will show later, the 4-time champion, being traded for York Silk. I would say not a good trade.
Yeah, that's actually York Silk, obviously humongous fan favorite, but after some of the events of the postseason and some of the late season, a couple consumer attacks, York Silk is not quite actually the player that they used to be. Getting their good old York Silk skills are a bit degraded, and of course York Silk is also returned, so we could very well get to the end of next season and and York Silk might just go straight back to the Hall, leaving Blaseball once again.
Yeah, so interesting choice there. Decent chance for it happening though, so not a complete whimdy. So all right, well that happened. Fish Summer, congratulations on getting your champions moving on. Was that Biff?
No, I was gonna say I suppose we then have to at least touch on the sole elephant in the room, which is next thing on your screen. The Millennials ended up pulling Torby Soul onto their team, sending back one of their beloved pitchers, Penelope Matthews.
Yeah, why? A 5-star pitcher for Torby Soul?
It's plunder. You can't control it.
People do. Yeah, you don't get to control who you lose. However, it did seem an amount of Millennials fans did in fact want Torby Soul on their team. Obviously, again, Torby Soul, big fan favorite, but for a bit of an unfortunate reason, a completely and totally busted soul scream that has since been fixed. It's still very long.
Almost as long as the notifications from all the players getting bats.
And yet this massive soul scream gives Torby Soul such a gargantuan ego that they and other players on their team are nigh constantly attacked by the dreaded consumers.
Yes, I suspect we want to hold the full details of this thing for later as we go through. But having Torby on your team is a very unique scenario. One that I suspect, honestly, that a lot of Mill fans aren't super thrilled with.
Yeah, sorry, Mill. Sorry for that. Also, unstable now. Did that just happen?
Yes, players that were had debts or some other various things when they moved through some of their modifications, rather. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. And they lost it. They lost the debt modifications. They got unstable. That's cool. Huh.
So at least there's that.
Yeah, at least there's that. Well, Torby Soul, Millennials, good luck. But hey, Thomas Justina is now faster. That's fun.
That Sunbeam trade right there is 2 pretty well-known pitchers, both high on their careers. It'll be interesting to see how they adapted to new environments.
Mm-hmm. All right, we get some swaps, some Umbermancy. Stop me if it's something interesting, like Jessica Telephone going to the Tigers. Whoa!
That's big.
A hired assassin of the Blaseball League goes back to her second tour in Hades.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, that seems like a little bit of a whimdy. So Telephone now, congratulations on the Tigers. Tigers are gonna be really good. Oh boy, it's gonna help my rankings later.
Of course, as someone pointed out in chat, thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat.
Unstable is not a modification that we have really seen all that often in recent history. Of course, unstable, a very infamous modification, used to be very common, unfortunately. Of course, unstable players are more likely to be incinerated, and if that player is incinerated in a game, unstable will spread to other players that are in the game, and it can set off some pretty gnarly chain incinerations, unfortunately.
Yes, Fuzzy Beetle just pointed out. Those who have historians of the sport will know first appeared when Jalen first returned, and hit by pitches created unstable, creating Ruby Tuesday. Rest in violence.
Those of you RIV baby, let's see some RIVs in the chat for those lost on Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday, of course, the Tuesday after Jalen Hot Dog Fingers was first brought back from the dead, and caused absolute chaos. I think like 13 people were incinerated in like one day. It was
Rough.
rough. Thank you for all those RIVs. Infusions, fun.
Sexton Wheeler is back.
That's good. Good job, Tacos.
The career of 038 or so hitter Rat Batson. He had the one famous home run.
Yep.
It's been derailed.
Yeah. Well,
Poor Rat Batson.
Poor Rat Batson.
Yes, and we need to stop and talk about this one right here because God bless you, Breath Mints fans, you geniuses.
Why are they geniuses?
If I may,
please.
Y'all may notice a couple of things about this particular wheel happening. That it is a foreshadow. The Mills brought back one of their players from their shadows.
But wait a second. But wasn't Uncle Plasma on the Millennials?
Uncle Plasma has a Millennial logo there. Again, for those who remember how the season went, Uncle Plasma is our hard-boiled detective. They are investigating the redacted scenarios. When they investigated any of the crime scenes, including the Breathman Stadium, they briefly went into that team's shadows to do those investigations. The Breathmans apparently took that 20-some-odd minutes where he was in their shadows and dumped a lot of votes into Foreshadow, bringing him back out, and it succeeded. So even though he wasn't in their shadows at the end, as we all know, wills happen to the target regardless of their current status. So welcome to Kansas City, Uncle Plasma.
Yeah. And Uncle Plasma, because they keep hopping in the shadows, got so much better. Like, looking at these stars, Uncle Plasma's good. Kansas City's only going to be better.
I see people indicating there was 230,000 votes in a 20-minute window. Again, I've got nothing but utter kudos and bowing to the brilliance that is the Breathmints fans sometimes.
Wow.
And then they infused Lee Shinger, whatever. That's a bit.
Yeah. No, this is what I want to see. 3.5 to 4.6, huge difference. This is going to be absolutely season changing for the Breath Mints.
The Breath Mints.
The Breath Mints, also making my power rankings that much easier.
A big blender is coming up right there.
Oh, Polka Dot Patterson. I didn't see this. Polka Dot Patterson, the absolute ace on the mound for the Canada Moist Sockers. Now a Dallas Stake. My goodness.
Six-pack, one of the few receivers left in the league. So managed to avoid all of the effects of that, negative effects of that for these seasons. Let's see what happens if it's tuned into Canada.
Now that we've gotten through most of the changes for the Moist Talkers, they have a decree coming up that they did win. But, you know, at the top of the show, we mentioned Moist Talkers Dynasty. Looking at these results, I'm thinking not. Two wins in a row, 2 great seasons. But we've seen already right here, they have inside of this election, they've already lost two of their dominant all-stars for two players that are quite large performance downgrades.
It
York is
almost
to be
almost
determined.
feels like free agency. Like you win a couple times, your players are really hot. You can't really afford to keep everyone, and they go to different teams. That's kind of how it feels here, especially losing Polka Dot Patterson, which absolutely won them without a doubt their season 15 championship.
I will say that York is still 4.7 batting stars.
Yeah.
How much of a decline is to be determined. He kind of still fits in the curve of that very powerful Canada lineup. They still go from Alston to Commissioner to now York to Eugenia. So that lineup is still pretty strong and survived a lot of it. That loss of Dot is going to be tough for them.
Magic desperately trying to get back Trorby Short. Now is unstable, and I feel like that's what happened when we tried to pull back some of the folks from being redacted. They just became unstable.
Well, Joe, you may want to open up the rosters on another tab and check out that Magic roster to look for Trorby Short.
Oh, I hope Trorby Short's there. Hold on, let me look. I love Trorby Short. Hold on, I gotta go here. League. Oh, Trorby, please be back. Please be back. Please be back. No.
Bad news, Joey.
No, where's Trorby?
Unfortunately, the two different attempts. I don't think we passed the other one yet, but the two different attempts to plunder a redacted player resulted in that player still being missing. Now, we don't know what the association of a redacted player to their last team or current team is, whether this still gives the Magic some more connection to be determined. But currently, we did not get these players back.
Woof.
Is there any instance of a redacted player coming back?
Not yet, but we can talk about when we get to those charts.
Hold on. There was an instance where a redacted player popped out of the secret base.
Yeah. Let me quantify.
Yep.
None
All
of those
right.
players are permanently back yet, but we do have an indication, which Joey did a great tease there for, that we can see them again, just with a little less control over the situation.
Well said. All right, let's finish this. Any other cool things that happened? Foreshadow. All right, whatever. Blackburn. Okay. Yeah, Mara Wilson. Cool. Oops.
Your other redacted player. So I'm sorry. No 6.5-star Boston Power pitcher Nagoli Daniel, as she's still redacted.
Wow. Oh, my bit being thrown in my face. I love it. Yeah. So I guess they're maybe technically a flower, but they're redacted now. That's weird.
That other trade, however, is pretty big for the Boston Flowers, picking up ace Brock Forbes there and dropping off probably not supposed to be a pitcher, Parker Para.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. So I like the Crabs, love the Flowers, no ill will, but when they dump Parker Para on us for 6.5-star pitcher for the Boston Flowers, Nagoli McDaniel, for 1.5 pile of rose leaves. Parker Para.
Now Parker
went 0-20 during this last season.
Parker belongs in
0-20.
He absolutely belongs in this league. He absolutely does not belong on that pitcher's mound. When you get further down, you'll get further down, you might see a similar scenario happening here.
Yeah, you're right, Reggie. I'm ready. It's not Parker Para's fault. Not Parker Para's fault.
I 100% agree with you.
There was a little question up here in the chat. I don't actually know if we've gotten this team yet. We might have passed by this team actually already.
Which one?
Firefighters. Have we talked about the Firefighters yet?
There are two things left that we're waiting for, and Firefighters is one of them.
All right.
Anyways, Boston Flowers pitching rotation getting better. Fridays, Juice. That's cool.
Oh, an alternate.
Parasite right there is a brand new modification, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow. When they strike out a batter in blood drain, they'll drain some blood from them. Oh, that's fun.
So that's got potential to add up very quickly.
A strikeout. That's a lot of fun. All right, look for that. Transfuse. Okay, whatever. Jalen Hot Dog Fingers. So that's big. Jalen Hot Dog Fingers is back.
Yeah, but you'll note that that's not the last time you're going to see her name on this list either.
That's true. Worm stuff. Cool.
Well-
Similar to Parker Parra, you might notice that Luis Acevedo, also a fine member of the Internet League of Baseball, probably does not belong on a pitcher's mound. Also went back to the Crabs as a pitcher, this time for Jacoby Podcast.
The Worms have massively improved themselves over the two Wills that we just passed over. Completely reinvented their pitching, which has historically been not good.
Yeah.
The worm has turned, ladies and gentlemen. The worm has turned.
Yeah. Final odds 0%. They win that, but that's not bad.
Well,
Out the
yeah,
door.
as you can note, that's actually
Oh, that is bad.
Luis a better pitcher. Just a nice little thank you for his service on his way out.
Yeah, nice little see ya. Have fun with the Crabs. Have a little infusion.
Nan is sent to the shadows.
Thank goodness. Oh my
You
God!
know, Nan, one of the biggest protagonists in baseball, and a well-known, historical player, getting a bit of a rest. Hopefully him again, probably not on the pitcher's mound, but still.
Big Nan fan.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
what we all-
yeah. We are all love Nan. We're happy Nan can get a break. Good for them. Yeah. Whatever. George's sure.
Here's some big moves from George's. Talk about reinventing your pitching staff.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
George is
yeah.
well known for having both Flattery and Ankle in their pitching staff, and both have been moved in one fell swoop. So congratulations, Georges. You get the well-known, well-loved Night Triumphant into that rotation.
Yep.
And I would say that they did a really good job of reshaping their pitching staff in one swoop as well.
Good job, Georges. And then being re-rolled from debt to unstable. That's cool.
Which
I
is
guess.
why you saw earlier above that Tribby on the Mills has unstable.
Oh, but why does Nicole McDaniel have unstable though?
Because she was redacted, and that was
Okay. That's a separate reason. That makes sense. Wait, they get life of the party?
Yes, they did. That was an enrichment choice.
Huh. Good job.
And look who's back on the list again.
Jalen Hot Dog Fingers back on the shadows, back in the rotation. Welcome back, Jalen Hot Dog Fingers. You were asleep. We should have let you sleep.
For those who haven't counted yet at home, the Garages now have 9 pitchers and 19 players on their roster overall.
Dang, that's a lot.
Every pitcher only gets 11 games to pitch. That's one way to mitigate having a large variety.
Yeah, no kidding. That goes all the Wills. A lot of crazy stuff happening. So again, Blaseball is just a game. And a lot of times the simulation picks the weirdest outcomes and even ones that not a lot of people voted for. That's dice. That's just dice, baby.
Yeah, and I will go back to Cal here because Cal wanted to point out something about the Firefighters and their wills, just as a quick thing, but we missed it. In terms of also big brain plays, the Firefighters had a pitcher who kept triple threat. There you go. And knowing that triple threat is going away, they managed to successfully re-roll it.
Yeah,
So,
which this was very intriguing. They managed to re-roll a player mod into a team, what has historically been a team-wide mod. I'm assuming this is just high pressure is also supposed to be meant as a player mod as well. So I would assume high pressure on a player would be this player will play 25% better in flooding weather when runners are on base. But we'll see. Perhaps Lou Rosehart, by simply existing, will buff the entirety of the Firefighters. We'll see.
That'd be amazing. When there's any kind of runner on base, it would be interesting if it's just the player lose Rosehart because they're pitching. If they let someone on base, they will pitch better. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Click on Lou. Click on the player.
Okay. I won't do it.
Don't do it from here.
Oh wait, here it is.
There's the ball.
Yeah.
It's part of the player, not as part of the team right now.
Fascinating. All right.
Wow.
Guess we'll have to find that out.
Crazy stuff there. Let's quickly run through the.
You passed the blessings, yeah.
Did I did? Oh, whoops. Whatever. Blessings. Goodness.
There's a few big
my
old lists of player changes.
Yeah, a lot of player changes. That's why it's 100%.
So there are 2 blood types this season.
That's cool. The O blood. So it's not O no blood. This is O blood. So players with zeros will always swing at strikes when they are 0 balls and 0 strikes at the bat. That's cool. So
It's a
more
solid
hits,
one.
more hits for the
It
crab.
also particularly works well for the crabs to potentially work with flinch.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, Parker Meng now on the crabs. Sorry, Dale.
Right. One of the unknown factors going into the season was for fringe benefit, and the other one like that, I forget which one, whether or not they would create new players or take existing ones. And as you say, unfortunately for the Dale, they took an existing player.
No, sorry, Dale. Parker Meng, always a classic Dale. New blood type, H2O. We're glad that the Moistarkers got it because that's just on brand. We'll always swing at strikes when there's 2 outs. That's cool. Yeah, they wanted that one.
They did.
Mulligan, fun. Batting practice, blah 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 blah. Teams get better.
Yeah, teams got better this season.
The
Yeah.
Mets, they are winning the first 2 blessings, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Affinity for crows.
That's fun.
Always a fun player. That gives you the great murder opportunity.
Oh, was that? Did you say murder? Oh boy.
Murder.
Oh, Alexander Walton. Oh, the Taco's losing a player. That's fun. See how that shakes out.
I think kind of one of the most significant changes that we see here in kind of these last chunk of blessings is that the Spies, I believe it was, where are my Spies? Come on. The Spies ended up with middling for this next season, which means that for the entire middle half of the season, they will be overperforming, making them much, much stronger for a solid third of the season.
I would argue it's more than a third too, isn't it? I mean, because middling is 28 to 71. So
that is more than a third of the season. Look, I'm not good at math. Okay.
Yeah. That's your job.
That's
If
why
not
I'm
all
here.
these.
Why on the air? 5 out of 11 weeks.
I have a quick question.
Yes. Just one.
Yeah. Why did the Worms go? Like, it seemed like there was a blessing that gave one of their players negative.
Yes, it was. In traditional worm factor, they cannot seem to go through the elections unscathed. They did win a chance to re-roll divinity, which is a specific batting stat for one of their batters, and beloved batter pitching machine, because of course he's a batter, had their divinity re-rolled. Unfortunately, it's further down, Joey. You passed it. But unfortunately, that result was a negative roll.
It's right there.
Yes.
Womp.
Divinity, a little mild FK for those at home, forbidden knowledge. Divinity tends to be connected to the ability to hit home runs. Pitching machine was not a huge home run hitter to begin with. Hopefully that won't be too damaging to him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Chad could probably remember better than I could, but there was, I believe the chance was somewhere between negative 20 and positive 20, something to that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Gotcha.
So crazy stuff. So that was the election in a nutshell in about 40 minutes, folks. Negative 20 and 60. Thank you, Ilian. Appreciate that. Thank you also
Ilian.
for number 9. Cat Stats. Hi, Cat. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions about those wills, about all the stuff that happened, about the new decree? We're now having bats everywhere and a generally better offense, which is nice because the past couple seasons it's been a pitcher and defensive league, and that's going to change things with that huge buff just across the board with offense. Be interesting to see how teams shake out.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty fascinating to see how this really affects the league. Obviously, after we came back from the Grand Siesta, not a Grand Siesta, the off season, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
After we came back from the Grand Siesta, actually, for the last 3 seasons, pitching reigned supreme. The pitcher is outrageously good. But when we came back from the off season, it seemed that, as people like to jokingly say, the mounds were lowered a bit, and we've seen a lot of pitchers return to much more pedestrian performances by comparison to what they were doing in the last 3 seasons. Obviously, I think that this will create even more of a big old buff to offense. Of course, I'm sure bats will do something crazy that we don't see yet beyond just giving every single player like a 0.1 to 0.3 overall batting star boost.
Especially when they break. I'm sure something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or the elements may matter more.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll certainly be fascinating to see what these items do, specifically the bats. I for one welcome a bit more offense in the ILB.
I see that you're highlighting this question from Gary, and
Yep.
that's actually a very good question, Gary. I don't think we've had that combination of unstable, which will attract a potential incineration from the umpires more, and fire eater, which will then eat any opportunity for an incineration and make the player magmatic, which guarantees the next at bat is a home run. In theory, that actually could be a very good big thing for Magomi. Whether that's what happens, we don't know, and unfortunately, this season will not be the one we find out.
Nope. Unless they pop out of secret base or something.
Yes, redacted, secret base. We promise, folks. We're getting to all that.
We're getting to it. Core mechanics. Oh my God. Here, Crafted Robot saying that core selection getting 3+ and now have 5 stars average in their pitching. Oh, yep, that's true.
Oh.
Yes, we will say, as Cal said, that pitching was an issue for the other 2 expansion teams. Pitching has been the strength of mechanics from day one. Even when they rented Polka Dot Patterson, they brought out Zoe Kirshner, who has been amazing for them. Mindy was a great acquisition for them, and they've done a good job of being patient with their other pitchers and brought them all up. Definitely an overall pitching staff to be worried about.
Yep, I'm worried. That's great. Question here from the chat. Could you all give us one hot take prediction for about next season? Ooh, good question.
Oh, I can confidently say that the Flowers will take it all next season.
Wow, that's a hot one. Wow, Boston Flowers taking all they got better in their rotation, so that's a pretty good take. Love that.
Gonna put it all on Flowers.
Yeah, all in the Flowers, baby. Cal?
I do have my hot spicy take. My hot spicy take is it is going to be the finals of the season 16 season is going to be Ohio Worms versus the Mild League wild card contestant. That's my hot take. Ohio Worms, I feel, really have reinvented themselves this offseason. They were already quite good, better than their record kind of would lead to indicate. Classic wild low problems. I think once they can make it into the playoffs, they're going to go straight to the finals. And beyond a few outliers, unless the Seattle Garages are the wild card team, so much of so much of the Mild League is so close to each other. Besides, like, Moist Talkers, Millennials are both kind of up here. I could totally see, just like the Wild Wings did this last season, I think we're going to see a Mild League wildcard team go all the way to the finals.
That's a great take. Biff, how about yourself?
No, unfortunately, Cal not only took my hot take, but expanded it further. I'll try to reframe this because I am also a big proponent of the Worms in general, and think that this was a fantastic time for them. I also think it was actually a fantastic election in general for all 3 of the expansion teams. So I think it's possible that we get 1 or 2 of them genuinely in the playoffs, not even from a wild card, but I think we can get any of those teams possibly getting over that hump and being which one gets to be the first one, we shall see. The Wild Low is absolutely going to eat itself alive. There is not a bad team in that division.
Love that Wild Low.
It will depend very much on schedule. If the schedule does not have them eating each other so much, I would almost dare say that it's possible that every team finishes at 500 or better.
Yeah, that's a great take. My hot take is that the Crabs going back to the finals and getting swept a 3rd time. That's what I'm locking in. Going full Taco Baca. All right.
What's the third rhyme? First you taco, then you Baco, then you take a season off and you
get swept again. I don't know.
Love Morocco. I don't know.
Slight addendum to what I said, as chat pointed out as a correction. I said millennials are kind of cut above the mild high. That is going to very quickly not be the case because we are about to see their team become eviscerated by consumer attacks.
Well, this will be interesting. We can talk about that a little bit because we saw what happens when the consumers eat up a below average team. Unfortunately, the poor Garages were not exactly a huge playoff contender when they started their attacks. The Millennials, however, have a lot more meat on their bones. There's a lot more to be eaten by potential consumers before they fall down.
Marissa, your
back?
hand is raised.
Please.
Question?
Yes, I have a question. I'm kind of familiar with consumers, but A, what's the narrative of it, and B, why would people consume?
Oh, great question.
So it's kind of it's not really a long story, but it's complicated, right? Every player and every team has E density. Kind of in short, the better a player does, the better a team does. They naturally gain E density over time. And then once you hit a certain level of E density as a team, you'll be in danger of consumer attacks, which are sharks.
When you go below sea level.
Yep. When you go below sea level, you will be in danger of consumer attacks. And when a consumer attacks your team, one of your players will lose a good hefty amount of stars.
Somewhat proportional to the reverse of a party time.
Yep.
If you want me to bring some of these numbers up, Joey, this might be a time for me to start doing some of my little.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Again, consumers didn't start attacking until last season. Get that ready, If.
Yeah.
And now they've been in full force. And If will show us some stats about poor Trophy Soul, grabbed from the shadows, who never was even in any league. So they just will always existed somewhere in the void. And then the Garage was like,
they were a mill for the first 2 seasons.
Oh, were they?
They were incinerated early in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you a little more of the history all the way through. So way back in season 3, incinerations started picking up again, and one of the first ones that were early one of the first ones that were early was Soul being incinerated and replaced by Sandy Turner, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been that way for a long time. To expand a little bit on the consumers and why they attack, one of the stats that you might not see individually is something called a soul. For many seasons, what that number did was just determine the length of a player's soul scream. So players traditionally have a soul between 2 and 9. So their soul scream goes between 22 and 99 characters. Here you see a pretty traditional sized one right there. When Torby Soul was first incinerated way back in season 3, Game Band thought it would be a nice little Easter egg to change her soul to 1,777. That stat remained irrelevant until the Blaseball 2 was breached. The players came in and the consumers came with them. That brought us E-density. E-density went from player to team to the levels that you see here on a team. And once we knew that was a factor, because Blaseball is the community that shoots itself in the foot while continually asking why.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredibly correct.
Thank you.
Well, it's a horror game. Well, what happens when we bring back people from the dead? Nothing bad could happen.
It would be fun to bring back Torby Soul, not exactly knowing what that would entail. So what that entails, ladies and gentlemen, is what you see on your screen now. Sharks are the generic term for consumers. You see a nice little shark graphic whenever they attack. And here are the lists of players that were attacked and had stats lost over the course of the season. Torby Short, 138 of let's get a number here. 189 times overall that occurred. So because Torby is so quote unquote dense, as soon as the team stats were updated, which is the beginning of season 2. So not Short Soul. Oh my God, that's my apologies to the magical frog. I did write the wrong thing there. Yes. Thank you, chat. Sorry about that. But yes, so day 2 was the first time that teams E-density rebalances. That is when the Garages immediately got so heavy that they fell below sea level, and the shark attacks began. So the Garages spent 98 days with their warning light on. They were attacked, if I'm not mistaken, 149 times in total. So you can see 138 of those were Torby Short. And you can see that when we look at it as a team level, that's a large number there for the Garages. A team that was in last place, normally not dense. Density also is affected by how well the team is done, both historically and current. And But then even when you take Chorby out here, we have a non-Chorby edition. You'll see the Garages still managed to have just as many shark bites as the next highest team, which would be the Crabs. The Crabs got it on the back of having multiple championships in their past, on the back of having 2 rounds of playoffs for those Crabs, for those consumers to attack the Crabs. And when that happens, that number that you see as a soul that affects the soul scream also changes. Souls go down, ladies and gentlemen. So
usually numbers go up, and it's horror when things go down.
And originally in Blaseball, souls went up. Here's some of your variants. Jessica Telephone, Pitching Machine, Allison, things like that. When they first gained ego 2 seasons ago, they gained the ability to stay on a base when flooding occurred. So they would look at the wave of materia and say, no. They stayed on the base. Anytime that occurred, their soul got a little better. Their ego got a little heavier. You know, they just stood up to immateria. Their soul screen gained some length. You'll see a pretty big outlier here also in Uncle Plasma. Uncle Plasma, over the course of this season, gained soul for a number of different reasons, for every investigation, for every time that he was involved in a game where a player got chomped by the consumers. And then you see poor Chorby Soul up here at the beginning, who started with that 1777, now currently sitting at 1640. So that is a variance of 137 chomps for poor Chorby. I would like to go down, however, to a different kind of number here on the bottom.
Woof.
Here we have soulless players. This is also a brand new thing and something we weren't aware of in Blaseball before now. We've been afraid of this for a while now, since we saw that shark attacks do decrease soul. Tad Seath and Kurt Kruller, which I'll get to in a bit, are some of our original redacteds. But Nagomi and Alyssa, were basically shark attacked to death. They went from their original soul. Rest in redaction. I'm not sure if we have a phrase for this yet, but once the last shark attack happened and their soul went to 0, they immediately disappeared from the league and became redacted. Like Tad and Kurt here, RI ? Yes. Rest in blank. Also possible. Like Tad and Kurt here, they are redacted, which was the original structure that happened for players who were observed. That is the new incineration structure. But we also have secret base playing into this. So I got one more screen for you here.
First off, Amazing Kita, you get a county point for RI redacted.
Very good. So again, for those unaware, the original redactions, Brisket Friendo, Tad Seath, those were 2 players who were in the shadows at the end of season 13 that just disappeared. They were the original redactions. We did not know why. That became part of the storyline for the hard-boiled detectives, Liquid Friend and Uncle Plasma, to observe as they did their investigation. Unfortunately, Liquid Friend became one of the victims of observation and then became redacted. Those other 6 players were observed over the course of the season and eventually disappeared, as well as Kurt Kruller. However, Secret Base gave us another little twist to this story, because apparently at some points over the course of the season now, one of these redacted or attractor players can suddenly pop out of Secret Base. When they do, they have a different modification. They are no longer redacted. They are temporarily attractors. An attractor has the ability to join whatever team drives them in. So Kurt Kruller first disappeared in Yellowstone, if I'm not mistaken, and then later on that same game day, suddenly popped out of Secret Base in Charleston. It's all tunnels underneath, everybody.
Yeah, and
unfortunately, Kurt only got the 3rd, did not score, and is now currently back as to redacted again. What this means? Stay tuned.
Thank you for that update. Really appreciate that. Question from the chat. What does hard-boiled player do? There's a couple players. I believe they investigate mysteries. When they go to a stadium, they'll hop in their shadows, investigate mystery, possibly let us know any cool updates for our storyline. And they were 2 players who were in the coffee cup back in December 2020.
Right. You may note that one of our original things was we've done the wills is that the Breathmints managed to foreshadow Uncle Plasma. That's because he was investigating in Kansas City Stadium and briefly went into their shadows. That's part of the hard-boiled trigger.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of crazy stuff. Actually, feels horrible. Incinerations have always been bad. There's always been like, okay, this player is dead. They get murdered in front of a crowd of people by a rogue umpire. That's pretty chilling. But seeing someone just be attacked constantly by consumers and then going somewhere else is even more scary. Like I feel like we're hitting peak horror now in Blaseball.
Just as Blaseball got comfortable with the Hall of Fame and the ways to bring him back, the game band said, you know what? We'll give you ways to get those players back, and then we'll make new, horrific, terrible ways for them to disappear instead.
Mm-hmm. And some other fun stuff that happened, we got to rebuild some of our stadiums. We get to add things to them. Some fun stuff. Any cool things that we love about the new additions to our ballparks?
Well, we mentioned secret base, but I'm sure what everybody really wants to talk about is that grind rail right there.
Yeah, let's talk about grind rail. What the heck is a grind rail?
I saw it like one time where someone was playing on the grind rail, and then it would mention various tricks that they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I really know.
Yeah, this is when Blaseball becomes Tony Hawk Pro Skater Simulation. The Society for Internet Blaseball Research has its own web application that tracks all the sick, nasty tricks that were done. But in a word, grind rail, one of the choices for teams to build in their stadiums, that there's now a rail, as it says, from first to third, so they can attempt to steal third base from first, excuse me, but they do a cool trick to do it.
Yeah, I forget what team it was, but again, I always respect the big brain plays. One team had a runner on second, had a player who steals bases often walk. So the runner on second went into secret base. The stolen base player took second and then took third, and then the runner came back out of secret base to basically let that runner go ahead of them.
It got lapped. Oh, how silly. Oh, Blaseball. It was the Mints. Of course it was the Mints.
Of course it was the Mints.
Mints are the trickiest folks around. If showing us in here is the link to the list of tricks. So check that out, folks, because that's very delightful. Also, we have the secret bases we mentioned before. There's now a secret little base beyond second where folks can jump in and out of, even between innings. So that's kind of cool. You can. There was a couple instances where a player scored multiple times because they were at bat and in a secret base at the same time.
Some of the more popular known tricks: a heel flip, a kick flip, a sky wink, a wiggle flip, a nose toucher. But we also get some more interesting ones as a 777, an immaterial plane, a minesweeper, a blue check, hot lasagna, and everybody's favorite, ump dog.
Ump dog, that's my favorite. Love ump dog.
This is one thing I would love to see implemented in the Wii Sports visualization.
Oh, just having imagine the rails just exist as like running over the people constantly tripping over it when they're going after ground ball. Oh boy.
And Joey, I'll tell you, I particularly appreciate the way you actually have been calling it, because you as grind rails happen, you've been saying that the runner gets on first and the first base coach hands that runner a skateboard.
Yeah, how else would you grind? It just makes sense.
That's well described and excellent play call.
Yeah, thank you. That's my headcanon, and it can be yours too if you believe in it. All right, we'll start wrapping up here. That was a whole lot to go over because a lot of stuff did happen. Folks, did I miss anything? Who's Peepers?
Who what?
Peepers.
Oh, apparently one of my messages in the community billboard did not get posted in the Blaseball. Oh, bye.
Cal's redacted.
Well, Cal's been redacted. Where's Cal?
Oh no,
Cal. Oh, Cal,
What?
you're back.
Hello. I'm having some weird little internet problems last week. This is weird.
No.
I'm back now.
Oh, we're back, baby. Apparently, I can't post in community billboard without an image.
That is correct.
Yeah, but
Or some kind of media.
Yeah, I posted. There was a Twitch link.
Huh.
That doesn't count. Cal, Cal entered the secret base. That is correct.
That's true. And I have emerged already. I'm entering a new team. It's the Sports Hub. I've been hired by the Sports Hub. Everybody.
Yeah, I got
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm lying. That was a lie.
Nope, we plundered you.
I'm not a streamer. Sorry, everyone.
Well, you've been streaming, so joke's on you. Did I miss anything? I know I sent an agenda out. Did I miss any of those good points?
Oh man, let's double check the agenda that I'm sure we stuck to excellently.
Oh boy.
I think we hit about just everything.
Yeah.
It's just the one special shout out that I had indicated also on my Twitter feed, which we'll get to if you like hearing all these fun weird stats from Blaseball.
We're not there yet. We're not.
I will get to it.
We'll get to it.
The one tease that I'll give you, this season gave us the first player to reach 4 championships on their own, who wasn't all 4 by the Crabs. So congratulations to Hot Fish Summer as a 2-time champion of the Hades Tigers and a 2-time champion of the Moist Stalkers. That's the only player, not 4-time Crab champ, to have reached 4. As a matter of fact, the players who have 3 championships all did it as 3-time Tigers or 3 times Crabs. So, and Fish now has a new team. So let's see if she brings that magic.
Well, what a great stat. Thank you for that very cool take. Oh, Blaseball is full of interesting little statistical wonderment. Really quickly,
It really is.
We had some shop updates. We now have a variable snack pack. We can increase and decrease our size. The smaller snack pack, the less items you have, but the higher the payout, and the inverse is true. Any crazy combinations that we discovered, or Sipper has some data on?
Everybody immediately came to the Sipper room asking what the best numbers were, and mostly the questions were, hang on. I would defer to some of the better math, economic-based Sipper people rather than speak to it myself. But there is a lot more combinations and a lot more possible math out there. I personally went for the minimalist scenario. I have 99 seeds, and let me tell you, getting rid of that snake oil, I felt kind of liberating.
Yeah,
it really did. Getting rid of that snake oil, even though it might have not been exactly efficient, it felt good to not worry about betting anymore.
Thank you, Game Man. It's just so nice. I know that Marissa T. Badger loves the bet. Can't stop betting. And bets it all.
All of it. On the right teams.
Are you sure about that?
Someday.
Yes, Marissa does not bet the Flowers 100% of the time at all.
Definitely not.
No.
I do want to point out that this is a garbage burger because there is a lettuce at the bottom. That's just.
Ooh, there's a hot take for you.
Yeah, there's my hot take. I don't like that. I just realized that. Hate that.
What if that's actually like guac or something?
It shouldn't be at the bottom. It should be bun burger. It's not a burger. This is an affront to me.
I might have to disagree, but
what? What? No. Why?
The burger gets the bottom bun all greasy and then it gets soggy.
Yeah, and a wet piece of leaf, it doesn't do that.
What? Why are you not drawing it? Okay, we can talk about this.
All right.
Of
Okay.
course.
Anyways, we'll figure out. I think it's fun. I don't think it's an optimal way. Bet your hearts. I just like having wetzels and donuts. That's just my take. So enjoy yourself. That's the point of the bottom bun. Thank you, Blade Moon. Thank you.
All right. No, okay.
What is okay? We won't get into that. We can start wrapping up before Cal gets mad at me.
Hey, I'm gonna fire everyone. Come on.
Yeah. I thought you worked for the Sports Hub now. It's canon. Anyways, folks, thank you for tuning in. A lot of great stuff happened in Blaseball. We will return on Monday to provide you some more live Blaseball coverage. So take this time to follow us on the Sports Hub. Hey, smash that subscribe button or press it gently. Don't hurt your fingers. And we'll get notified when we go live. We present you so much content. But these 3 folks here create also lovely stuff as well. We'll start with If Biff and we'll go counterclockwise. My image is not reversed, so it's messing up with my brain. If Biff, where can people find you and your great content and your data crimes?
Oh, thank you. My primary source for data crimes would probably be my Twitter feed. That is at Biff BIFF, IFH, because Twitter likes to make things more confusing. I tend to put out information like that Fish Summer type stat and all sorts of things, especially on the weekend roundup. You can catch me most of the time in Sibber's Discord, where you will find many people who are much smarter and can give you better information than me. Sibber.dev would be our home for that, and I'm sure somebody will have the Discord link. So there you go, and thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for those. Thank you for putting together those awesome stats about Fish Summer, about all the solo attacks. That was really cool visual to see, and lovely to have that. Hopefully you post that on your Twitter because that's some great content.
Absolutely.
Or also you can go to discord.sibber.dev for that Discord. Really great place, even if you don't want to. Bye, Cal.
Nope. Yes, there's Kat, who one of the examples of somebody probably much better and smarter at this than me. Will also be there in Sibber very often.
Oh, we do love Kat. Mr. T. Badger, you are next. You want to plug? Hi.
Sure, I'll plug. I'm on a show on this very channel on Tuesdays called Little League. It's a fun adventure tabletop role-playing game set in the Blaseball universe. It's a lot of fun. Check that out on YouTube as well if you want to catch up. You can also catch me starting this upcoming week on Thursdays at 3 weeks course. I'll be taking John Serpico's tabletop, how to GM a tabletop role-playing game class.
Oh, you're in that class. That's awesome. We are partners with the 3 week courses. So use code Badger for a discount there. But that's gonna be fun. Thank you for that plug. And if you don't mind, I have a teaser for Little League. It should be about 20 seconds. I'm gonna play it right now.
Okay, a partial success, which means, Mindy, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you want this rat to be actually alive?
Of course not.
So it is.
That was episode 2. The show starts hard and fast. It makes you feel real feelings and also kind of scary. Blaseball News, thank you for the subscription gift. Appreciate that. Yeah, so you catch us there. Cal, how about yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Cal, I'm the editor-in-chief of the Blaseball News Network. Everyone's second favorite Blaseball Twitter account. Yeah, I run the Blaseball News Network. We've got a Discord, we've got a website, we've got a YouTube channel, we've got people who do these weird streaming shows for us like this. The Twitter is at Blaseball News. I'm at BNNCal. The website is blaseball.news. Our Discord is linked on all of those places. Swing by the bean cord. I usually have links at the ready, but I'm really lazy today. So
yeah,
those are my plugs.
Usually you punctuate that with like boom, 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 boom. But baseball.news.
Yeah, I'm a little off today.
Chat's got your back, Cal.
Yeah, chat
Thanks,
always
chat.
has your back. Thank you for that hashtag chat support. I knew it's bit and I love it. Anyways, I love the chat so much. It's so nice. And I'll put your Twitter in there because it's really good Twitter. Or you can follow us and we'll just retweet everything you do. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Folks in the chat, thank you for your questions. If thank you. Marissa T. Badger, thank you. Cal, thank you so much. Thank you for having us and allowing us to do this silly recap show because Blaseball is a lot and we get to celebrate. Was that Marissa?
Also follow Cat Slats.
Oh, also follow Cat Slats. Did she post?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh, just always is a good idea.
As always. This makes sense. Also, Bean and Cal, I think that's your personal one.
Yeah,
Cal?
Bean and Cal is my personal.
Yeah, Bean Cal.
Thanks, Benji.
Oh, Benji. It's like Benji gave you that. Oh, Benji just posted it.
Benji actually gave me that username.
He signed up. It's like, here, Cal, I signed up for you. Like, I didn't want this, but thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, folks. Oh, and the Blaseball News Network almost at 10,000 followers. Ooh, that's fun.
Hoping to reach 10,000 by April 25th. Aiming for April 25th. I want to hit 10,000 followers by April 25th. That's
you heard it, folks. That's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks
before the next off season.
That'd be cool. All right, Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing us to go 13 minutes over time. We appreciate every one of you. You make the community special and worth hanging around. But with that, the commissioner's doing a great job. These folks doing awesome stuff in the community. Chat, you're classy and lovely and so supportive. We couldn't ask for anything better. And with that, we'll see you next time.